proudly goes first here.
Unfortunate there, but certainly both these duelists have lost dice rolls, so I don't think it's going to impact them that much.
We're beginning here with John deciding how best to start. I believe we're straight into main phase here. So nothing like a standby phase. Molt charming from Nicholas. We're going to reveal the Habakiri effect, activate the once per duel to go ahead and summon and tribute. This is probably going to get the patented Saji, which will then give us access to the Mitsurugi ritual.
Saji effect?
We've been doing this since Supreme... Well, we haven't been doing this specific play since Supreme Darkness, but we've been resolving Mitsurugi ritual since then, and I don't think we're going to stop now.
We certainly have.
Well, we are going to be stopped by Nicholas, of course, thanks to that Ash Blossom on the Saji effect to search for the ritual.
So it certainly gives a little information. I believe at this stage of the tournament, everybody's probably aware of what everyone else is on, but we're going to go ahead and summon the Cupsy Yummy there since the Saji did not happen.
Yeah, so we're not going to be searching any Mitsurugi cards here, but we will be getting access to some more powerful Yummy cards.
Oh, sorry. Search Surprise Resolution.
Yeah, but that's a really powerful thing about this kind of archetype is once you stop one engine, don't worry, I have the other one. We went ahead and had Surprise there, so now we have two known cards in the Habakiri and the Surprise, but they don't necessarily seem like enough at the moment.
Looks like we're going to go ahead and link off the 1. And it's funny, too, because certainly this deck was designed just to get around Dimensional Barrier, any of those decks that use those two different summoning mechanics. But now that Dimensional Barrier is no longer in the format, as well as a bunch of other terrors for this deck, you can kind of play uninhibited. So we use the Numbing Statue and we go ahead and grab that field spell.
Minion targeting the Cupsy.
Yep, we're going to use the effect of the Minion to go ahead and bring back the Cupsy from our graveyard. This will give us access to our Synchro plates if we want it, because the Yummies can use Link 1 monsters as level 1 tuner monsters.
Certainly Link Grow summon.
We love it. We're going to get the Cupsy Yummy way here to go ahead and search 2, discard 1. And I definitely know we have a card in our hand that has probably served its purpose, being that Habakiri, if we have no way to tribute it off to get value with something like a ritual spell.
Thinking on the discard.
Always worth considering, though. We do have the Marshmallow that we could use to bring back the Surprise and get essentially a free discard.
Taking a look here, John sighs lightly, doing that duelist math. Anytime you see somebody basically working the mental abacus out there, you know they are several steps ahead.
Yep, finger tapping is the #1 threat level move. Is like once that starts happening, you always got to be ready and paying attention.
You can hear it. If I do this and then I do that, that would mean I'd be able to get this. I mean, there's like a full dialogue Yami Yugi, Little Yugi style going on in this ad.
Looks like we're going to be discarding a Ghost Bell from our hand?
I think so.
Yep, there goes the Ghost Bell. Notably really good in the Dracotail matchup as it interacts really well with almost all their cards, but we're choosing to value the cards we already have in hand as John. We're going to use the effect of Marshmallow to summon itself from the hand, and then we're going to also summon the Lollipo.
You have how many in hand?
3 in hand.
Yep, and we know 2 of them being Surprise and Habakiri.
You said thinking?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, so play continues from here. Looks like we're going to perform a Synchro summon. I imagine it's the Martial Metal Marcher.
No, it's going to be the Samsara Cat.
Go in the other direction.
This will be basically a 1-card access to Herald of the Arclight, if we require that, and maybe some extra material as well.
Taking just a moment to review the card and consider.
Just double checking.
Taking a read again.
Yes, this card is a very interesting one.
Never a dull moment here in Battle City.
Nicholas having a thought here about how he wants to interact with the board, but it's looking like it's going to rock here as we perform another Synchro summon here, using the Synchro Tuner in Samsara Cat to go ahead and make Herald of the Arclight in attack mode in the extra monster zone. Want to free up some zones there as we go for a Link summon here into the Gravity Controller, giving us yet another Link 1 and activating the effect of Herald of the Arclight to get some ritual spell action going. You stop me with Ash, but can you stop me with Herald of the Arclight? I don't think so. Beautiful to see how these two engines can bridge with each other and continuously access all of their cards. We activate that Mitsurugi ritual. That's why we didn't display the Habakiri, because we needed to perform this ritual summon from the deck to get Amino Murakumo no Mitsurugi.
So the rain clouds are a storming in, and also going to go ahead and grab a Mitsurugi ritual for your troubles.
Oh yes, that powerful card is going to be useful for just recycling over and over again all of your ritual monsters. And then we're going to use a surprise here to bring back, I believe we're going to bring back Yummy Cupsy way here so we can have the potential float effect later. But it could be kind of anything. And now we have the Murakumo too,
Wait,
so
wait,
if
me?
Nicholas does
Oh yeah,
want to
sorry.
interact with
Oh,
it,
sorry,
Yeah,
my bad.
My bad.
A little bit of a communication problem there. You know, Nicholas doesn't have any issues with John resolving his
And
cards,
then
and John
effects
is a very
targeting the-
patient duelist waiting for his opponent to respond.
Oh.
Luckily, it's on time, though. No time burning here.
no worries. We do have the effect of Marshmouth bringing back that surprise that we used to summon it back in the first place. We love to see that interaction time and time again here at YCS Pittsburgh. We could perform a Linkro summon, as my co-commentator likes to call it here.
Be careful, that may catch on.
Oh, I love it. I love everything about it if it does. And then we're going to get back another Yummy Way here, it looks like. Going to be going for the Lollipo, using the Lollipo effect on summon. Going to go ahead and target the Marshmallow to bring back from the graveyard and the Lollipo to bring back from the graveyard.
So certainly a lot of monsters, some inherent protection there from the Amine Murakumo no Mitsurugi. Just a great Magic Drain-like effect. But we're going to go ahead and return some cards to bring back the Samsara.
Yep, and now we can use it again to go back into the arc that we just returned. But
That's
oh
supposed
my
to do it
gosh,
earlier.
Nibiru, the
Yeah,
Primal
fair
Being, going to be used to tribute the entire board. But because we're tributing, we have
put
some
it,
more effects
YCS.
as
Oh,
John.
sorry, this is banished. Yeah.
We are denying potentially the opportunity to go back into that Herald of Arclight that we just returned as John. So this could be a really heads-up play from Nicholas to force that out.
Put in defense here.
So we're going to summon it in defense. It's going to have a lot of attack and defense points here. It's going to be north of 6k attack, and I want to say north of maybe like 5k defense. Maybe a bit more.
We'll see how long it stays on the field. Remember, we have seen plenty of Link Spiders here
just recommend.
dedicated to dealing with this.
Yep.
Thinking.
And then because the Murakumo was tributed, we're going to bring it back. But we have the Ghost Spell, but we have the Call by the Grave for the Ghost Spell to make sure the Murakumo does, in fact, come back from the graveyard while getting that additional search of a Mitsurugi card. And when it comes back, it's going to Raigeki the field and get rid of that Nibiru, the Primal Being. Oh, my goodness. Nicholas with a handful of non-engine, perfectly timing it to make sure he can stop all the inertions from John, but it wasn't enough.
Back-to-back interactions. Nicholas certainly trying to jump into the duel finally, but it wasn't enough. John is going to be able to get everything he needs here. Certainly lost some monsters, but now you can play without the Spectre of Nibiru coming down, and he does a little bit of mental calculations, so we'll see what cards he comes out with next.
Yeah, something we were talking about off stream is kind of the natural tempo of a Yu-Gi-Oh game. And you have all these chain links kind of interrupting that tempo. You can go from, you know, really intense, really methodical to lightning fast. Oh my gosh, 18 things just happened, and it can be really challenging, but also a little bit exciting to commentate over.
You definitely got to look alive. You can't blink in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game because you never know what will happen next. But speaking of next, now place the deck down. Let's see what John decides to do. He's pushed through all the scariest things, but does that mean he has nothing left in the tank?
I mean, it is worth noting that even though we were able to get the Murakuma back, we still are denied the rest of our Yummy cards, it looks like. I don't see a way for John to get back to Arclight or even bring back his Yummy Ways until the following turn when he can reuse things like Surprise and Mignon. So we could be in a rough spot if Nicholas has enough cards in hand to start actually playing the game. But unfortunately, 2 cards might not be enough.
Think we might be about to set 3 and pass?
Seems pretty good to me. I believe
Yep.
those are all known cards. One's the Mitsurugi Mirror, one is the trap card for Muraku. Great, what is it? It's Great Purification.
Great Purification, yep.
And then we have the Surprise, of course. Normal Summon Malulu is a fantastic start in our main phase
Nothing
as
on
Nicholas.
Effect.
We are going to use the effect to fuse. Are we going to activate the Purification here?
I think maybe. I mean, it is a normal summoned monster. It would slow your opponent down.
We're going to go ahead and tribute, and we're just going to instantly concede as Nicholas. We cannot play through all of that, and wow,
Thank you.
the handful of
shouldn't have
non-engine.
All right, good luck, man.
Good luck to both players here. I believe Nicholas will be starting us off.
Stay by main.
That's
We're
fine.
going straight into his main phase. Nothing from John to interrupt. We're starting off with Ketsu. Going to go ahead and get a search here
That's
for a
fine.
Dracotail monster. Definitely the way you want to go here. Maybe we can get Lucaeus. Lucaeus get Fimina. Fimina just to have it in hand to start fusion summoning. The sky's the limit.
Thinking on what I'm going to get.
The night sky full of the constellations. Okay.
That is true.
Okay.
That is true.
That's the last one I'll do of that today.
We promise, duelists. We're trying our best not to just be fans of this game, but we are fans of this game.
Press.
It's going to be the
Yeah.
Lucaeus here. So we might go for a little bit of extra value here. Nothing on resolution, meaning no draw and lockbirds to worry about. That'd be the only reason maybe to get Fimina early.
So it looks like Lucaeus is going to go ahead and get summoned out here. We will go ahead and add the Fimina from deck to hand. Every single interaction matters. We're going to go and fuse
Sure.
immediately here. No response to the
Thinking here.
effect.
How many fuse?
Looks like we're going to combine. He's got to be careful about this. I saw that he maybe didn't want to get rid of stuff, doing a little bit of hand math of his own.
Yeah, it's always interesting of like, what monsters do I want to have to transmute into this Fimina? That's really the thing you got to think about. It's okay, what monster am I okay to have in there and what monster am I not? We're going to go for the Fallen of Albaz and the Phyrexial sorry, the Dracotail Phyruxel here to go ahead and get the Arthalion. That is 2 monsters from the hand.
Arthalion,
Including a Dracotail.
targeting Phymina and targeting Frixel.
Yep, so we're going to use the
Chainlink
effect
2.
here of Arthalion to go ahead and get Phyruxel and Phymina added back as Chainlink 1. We're going to have the effect Chainlink 2 be Phyruxel to go ahead and set the Rahu Dracotail. Those cards will be added back, and the Rahu will be set. We're now going to link off the Lucaeus into the Dragon Spirit of White, link it off with the Arthalion to go ahead and make Sacred Spheres of the Heavenly, no, Sacred Seals of the Heavenly Spheres.
Hieratic Seal of, oh no, now I've got me wrong.
Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres, excuse
There
me.
we go, there we
Excuse me.
go. Certainly a tongue twister.
I got ahead of myself with the Sage and all the fun stuff.
Hey,
Spirit and
give
all the fun
yourself a
stuff.
break. It's been a long day. Remember, this effectively, considering it's the top 8 after round 14, this is effectively round 16 of this tournament.
Oh my goodness.
And both these duelists doing great even after all that time. So we are going to see the fusion summon here of Gulamel. Let's go ahead and resolve the Urgula.
Yep, and the Phymina that we fused off from hand too. So we're going to get both sets here of Dracotail Sting, and I'm assuming one of the other trap cards like Horn or Flame. It is going to be Horn. Now we have the Urgula engraved to go ahead and recycle that Phymina. So now we have the Gulamel interaction plus these Spheres bounce. And I think I saw the Flame already in Nicholas's hand, so we will have the full gamut of Dracotail interactions.
And he will be able to special summon a dragon there too, and there are plenty of great dragon monsters in the Dracotail deck, right? It's in the name. But he's going to go ahead and set an additional card there, handful of monsters, maybe ready to pass.
I mean, this is where you want to be. If you're Nicholas, you have pretty much answer to anything John can throw at you. The only question is it enough to fight the constant extension of the Mitsurugi Yummy deck as John begins his turn?
Let's see what he throws back at his opponent, starting with Habakiri Reveal.
It worked out so great for him last time. Why not do it again? The powerful once per duel effect to summon and tribute.
It's good. We're going to let it happen. Not that worried.
Okay, looks like we're going to go ahead and get the Saji from the sound of it. And then we're going to tribute it off to potentially get the ritual. Obviously, John does not know this, but we do have the flame set for Nicholas, so we can easily answer that. But there's the Ash once again on the Saji. No ritual for John, but we saw that last time he could play around this just fine.
Definitely like the line of play here from Nicholas. Definitely keeping the opponent at bay by allowing him to resolve that once per duel effect, but then stopping the actual profit of getting the Saji to the graveyard.
I'm seeing a couple more ritual monsters, I think, in John's hand. There could be the Murakuma already in there, or that's just the Habakiri we saw earlier.
You're good.
Leave I see a Mitsurugi Prayer at the front, taking a moment to read Gulamel.
Just making sure that if he chains to a Dracotail effect, would be able to actually block the Gulamel's effect. The answer is yes. So Nicholas would have to have an additional Dracotail effect trigger for you to be able to actually get that target destroyed.
Kind of reminds me of like shades of Labyrinth there. But it seems like John's ready for his next move. Holding a card, he slaps down his field spell.
Ooh, field spell, Yummy Amusement, a Croaky. This will represent the ability to kind of interact with some of Nicholas's cards and maybe force out the interaction if we can perform a Synchro Summon. We do have the Marshmallow being able to summon from the hand because we control no monsters currently. It's looking like that's going to rock if you're Nicholas. Yep, we're going to go ahead and let the Marshmallow go.
No response yet. Nicholas just keeping all those pieces of interaction held close to the chest, waiting for John to do something that truly threatens him. Other than the Ash Blossom, hasn't done much.
Yeah, we are big chilling right now. If we're Nicholas, there's no need to fire off anything like a Spheres early.
That's fine.
Oh, it's fine. No response.
Okay.
So John got a few options here. Looks like he's going to slap down something else. Very careful here. It's a spell. I believe it's going to be the Mitsurugi Prayers.
We do have the way to get the double effects by tributing the Habakiri from hand. We are going to go for that. Flame could be pretty huge here, depending on what you're guessing John's hand is.
Here.
We're thinking here, I believe the only cards we know about Nicholas's hand are the Phymina that he added back off Urgula and the Phyruxel, so we do have plenty of ways to fuse.
Going to heat things up. I think we're flipping over the Dracotail Flame.
Debating it.
Activate flame.
We are going to be activating it to go ahead and negate the prayers here.
target Habakiri.
And we're going to chain the Sting to go ahead and banish the Habakiri, so that way it's not in the graveyard as it's being tributed to resolve its effect.
Depriving his opponent both of the effects activating, and with that Dracotail effect with no response, that means Gulamel's effect is going to activate and get rid of the field spell. So everything to waste, right? Goodbye Ritual, goodbye Prayers, and goodbye field spell.
And 2 draws for Nicholas on a hand that already contains a known Phymina. Whew, and we still have access to the Horn and the Spheres, plus whatever else Nicholas could draw here.
Nicholas fighting for Dracotail fans everywhere. As he draws a card, and it looks like I think I saw a Droll and Lockbird add
Triggers when it
fans.
gets banished.
We've
It's
got
a
a new
different
chain
card?
link, but it changed locations. We get a judge if you want.
Correct? Okay. Sorry, it hasn't come up yet. My bad.
Yeah, so exactly. So it needs to be tributed, but it needs to be in the location to which it triggers in order to actually resolve.
That is correct. The update back from 2020. A lot of weird permutations, so certainly no shade on either of these duelists, but the judges are up there to confirm. So
But-
we're
but
going to
That's
go.
so weird. It hasn't
But
come
Nicholas
up for
being a
me
veteran
yet.
of the
My bad.
game is very well known of how this is going to work. That's why he resolved it this way.
Been dueling since he was a kid. Been dueling since before the TCG was invented.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be the one to say it, but dueling since before John was born.
That is technically true. Hey, but you know, you never have to worry about it because I think Adichie is just a great example of you can get into this game at any time and have incredible tournament results as long as you dedicate yourself to it.
It's just nice when you can have the benefit of all those years of practice as well.
That is true. It's in your DNA. But speaking of DNA, we're going to have Seals tribute itself. Going to bounce on Resolution. Yummy Snatchy back to the extra deck. Let's special summon a Dragon Monster from the deck with 0 attack and 0 defense.
Malulu's a pretty good one, I've heard.
Yeah, you don't worry about its attack reduction there. And that's it! Conceding the game. John deciding to go ahead. Applause from the crowd. To finals. Adichie's waiting for you, but 2 great duelists are in front of us. So let's find out who gets out of this one with all their life points intact.
John Wilkins begins their turn. I believe we're going straight into the main phase. Oh, no, draw phase here with the Mitsurugi Prayers.
It's good.
Gonna go ahead and get the search. No tributing. Gonna grab the Habakiri to the hand. Once again, we're gonna see that potential first action be the once per duel effect. Usually a powerful way to start.
Yeah, sorry. Stand by mid phase. Normal summon?
Ooh, no. We're actually gonna begin with the normal summon of Lollipo, and there is the Fua. But followed by the Ash Blossom and followed by the second Fua. Oh boy, second Fua has been out all weekend long here at YCS Pittsburgh, and we're seeing it once again.
Second Mulcharmy means you're going to be giving your opponent a lot of resources, and we've seen in earlier duels that the more cards you give your opponent, the closer they get to such powerful outs like the Mirror of the Primal Being, or maybe even Droll Lockbird. Maybe a duelist says, you know what, I've drawn enough cards, let's stop all the searches.
Yeah, it'll only be 1 draw per special summon from the extra deck or main deck, but instead of 2. But that's still pretty strong because this Habakiri will trigger it.
Well, equally important, though, draining the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring out of John's hand. Remember who's playing the Dracotail, right? That's 1 Ash Blossom, but it's not a recurring Ash Blossom like it is in the hands of a Dracotail duelist.
Very heads up, Steven. It is one of the most powerful interactions for stopping your main deck's engine. Seeing it target down one of your non-engine cards is an absolute plus.
Res.
Nothing on Resolution here. I don't even think if Nicholas had a Droll and Lockbird that he'd be priced into doing it because he gains so much by John continuing to play that it's probably not worth it for him to stop him from drawing cards.
Yeah.
We're going to be summoning from the hand here. Going to go ahead and get that Habakiri by tributing 2 monsters from the deck. This could be the Kusanagi as well as the Aramasa maybe to get access to the rest of our Mitsurugi cards. But no, it's going to be just the Murakumo.
Sometimes 2 heads are better than 1, but looks like we're just tributing 1 monster here.
There is a world too that because John is playing the Mitsurugi Yummy version of the deck, he's not playing cards like Kusanagi or Aramasa because there's just no room to fit those cards in.
Definitely a packed deck here, but we are going to grab the Mitsurugi Mirror there.
Yeah, that'll go ahead and allow us to bring back our ritual monsters from the graveyard like we're going to do now by using the Mitsurugi Mirror.
Thinking on res of the.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, we're thinking on res of the effect of Murakumo to add the mirror for Nicholas.
Maybe there is going to be a surprise Droll and Lockbird. It's a weird play. You see it on Master Duel sometimes with Maxi and Mulcharmies both being in the format. Sometimes you feel like you drew enough, but he's fine. He's going to go ahead and pass priority.
Yeah, there could be a world where he, wants to just deny as much value as possible from the tributing of the Habakiri here, but it just doesn't seem worth it because every time you get cards as Nicholas, I think you're pretty happy.
Just one more chance to win this duel, so he'll let his opponent just allow him to draw.
It is worth noting here that John is representing Zombie Vampire, which is a very famous way that we saw in YCS Anaheim to have these 2 archetypes bridged together. But I don't know if John's priced into going into his Yummy cards right now because that Mulcharmy is still active.
Yeah, correct.
A lot of advantage you're giving your opponent. And yeah, Zombie Vampire's good, but do you really want to give your opponent more cards?
Well, if you're not, it's not just Zombie Vampire. Like, if you commit to summoning that monster, you're kind of committing to summoning 2 or 3 more out of the extra deck.
So we're going to get the Great Purification here out of the deck.
And if I'm John, like, are you priced in to just set this and pass and just go, I have enough here? We've seen time and time again that players take on the Molcharmi Fulos challenge, and it's not always the most beneficial thing for them to do.
Well, let's see if he decides to set. He is definitely thinking about it. This is a big decision to make. This is going to determine whether or not you end up in the finals, right? Decide to push.
Sure, yeah.
The problem is that there's just, like, so much, like, powerful cards you can summon that is like, but if I just go full combo, I think it's enough to win no matter how many cards he draws.
I think that is the decision he's going to make as we send a Yummy to the graveyard here for a Link 1 play, giving the opponent a single draw. The Yummy Snatchy is going to go ahead and activate here, and I think we just drew an Effect Veiler. Is that what I saw?
Yeah, that was definitely an Effect Veiler there from Nicholas. Could be useful here for maybe stopping some of the more impactful cards that John could establish here while also drawing him cards off the Fua. Could be nice to see.
He's got to make the guess. I think he is going to activate the Effect Veiler there, trying to stop the field spell from being placed and maybe betting that he's able to... Let's see. Chain Resolve, so we're going to see if we're going to discard. I do see the Droll and Lockbird there, but it looks like he's going to discard a spell instead.
Going to get rid of the Ketu Dracotail from the hand. That must mean we have another really powerful spell card to activate because getting rid of that going second is really good.
So here's the gambit. Nicholas must think that there's no additional Yummies, so we may not see any Link monsters being used as tuners.
I mean, right now, if we're Nicholas, all we have to fight through is a known Murakumo and a known Great Purification, and maybe he feels the cards in his hands are good enough to do that already. But there we see the Akroki already in John's hand, but no, and we do have the Lollipop in the graveyard to get value out of it. But it looks like we're just going to choose to set a card.
Probably the Purification if I ever thought one, so let's go ahead and cut the deck here.
Yeah, this Akroki is going to be pretty interesting to see how Nicholas chooses to interact with it. We're going to get the draw here for him. And I believe I do see a second copy of Ketu, which is probably some Great Purification bait if I've ever seen some.
But is that all he has? Nicholas is going to have to choose his cards just as wisely as John did. John, very conservative in his duel, decided to stop early. And that meant that Nicholas didn't get as many cards as he wanted, but the issue is with Murakumo and the Great Purification both online, he's got to order this perfectly.
All right, so there we see the Ketu here. If this resolves, it'll allow him to add a Dracotail monster from the deck to hand and perform a fusion summon because John controls monsters. And if you're John, you do have Great Purification to deal with this, but then you have 3 more cards in Nicholas's hand. And if you Great Purification, I don't know if you have a way to get this Murakumo off the board by tributing it. So you're kind of forced to use all of your own action here if you have it.
This is the biggest decision of John's life, and he takes it, tributing Habakiri.
It will be the tribute of the Habakiri to still have the Murakumo in play to potentially negate the future effect, and there it is!
Oh,